Well done in completing the events section of this training, everyone. You've now learned how to add events into the system and how they are used as part of the recovery care planning process, which hopefully you now know is a very important part of this process. In the last section of this training, we are going to focus on goal templates and resources as part of those recovery care plans. So in this section, we're going to walk you through what a goal template is, how you as a provider or organization will import the global goal templates, modify them, and add resources into your directory for use in those recovery care plans. So let's start with what is a goal template. Well, goal templates help to speed up the data entry process, and in some instances, they do create a roadmap or a step-by-step guide for your recovery navigators and clients. Depending on how a client responds in the RECAP assessment, the ARM system serves up this list of suggested templates for the recovery navigators and the clients to review and discuss which goals to create, whether any of these templates will help to walk them through the creation of a SMART goal that will address those barriers, unmet service needs, or to grow recovery strengths to increase recovery capital. Now, these goals can and will be modified to meet the specific needs of each of those individual clients as they discuss and agree upon during that recovery planning process, which you will learn about in a later training. However, the templates really help with time and efficiency. So let's take a look at what I mean by a goal template. Here on the screen, you can see a list of templates. These are goals that were suggested based on Wiley's most recent assessment. So here I can see the domain of recovery capital, what it would address, the suggested goal itself, the goal category, and we can mark which ones we want to add to our recovery plan. If I was to open one up so we can take a look, let's take a look at nutrition and meal planning. Here you can see it is set up to walk them through the creation of a SMART goal. We have the goal name, we have a start date, we have a due date, we have milestones, which are in teal, individual tasks below each of those milestones here. And each of those tasks has a start date and a due date of their own, as well as potentially resources that might help them to achieve this task. So if Wiley's task is to learn about the importance of nutrition in recovery, and that's the first place that we agree we should start, let's take a look at one of these resources and whether or not these are global resources or if they are local resources. Let's open up the University of Utah's publication here, and we would just access the link. Now this is an article that would walk us through some of the information about nutrition for individuals in recovery. I'm going to close this one out, and as you can see, that isn't specific to a location. It doesn't matter if your client is in Florida or in a different state or in a different country. That might be a resource that is helpful anywhere, so we consider those global resources. Now, you may disagree. That may not fit with your program or your model, and you have a different resource that you'd like to attach. We're going to walk you through how to import these templates that are global and how you can easily modify each of them so that they are set up in advance with the appropriate resources and tasks for each of your navigators and clients to achieve certain goals as part of this process. So you can see the next resource that was attached was to view a TED Talk by Julia Ruckledge. So if we were to open this one up, it gives a description of the video itself. But again, this would be a TED Talk video, so it's a global resource that might be useful in achieving that goal. Now if we go back to our list over here, so while these resources are already included in these goal templates, we are again going to walk you through importing and modifying these in a moment. We're not prescribing the resources that should be used, so you may edit the goal template to remove those resources and replace them with resources you think that are more valuable or that you would be able to assertively link the clients to instead. In fact, if you can't find a resource that would assist the client with this action item, learn about the importance of nutrition and recovery, then you may decide to come right over here to the right on the 3 dots and select delete, which will remove this action item entirely from the goal template, and then it won't show up and there won't be a resource attached to it. If we go back to the recovery plan, we can see here that these goals have resources attached to them. So here are resources that are attached to them. And at the bottom, we can see that Wiley may or may not have already rated those resources as part of his recovery plan. If he left a comment, we'd be able to hover over this little note and we'd be able to read what the comment is. As you can see, he hasn't left any notes currently, and he hasn't rated any of these resources because we haven't actually put together the recovery plan in this area. One of the ways that we can measure the client's engagement in the recovery plans is by reviewing whether or not they are actively involved with rating resources and checking into these community resources and events. We can tell that Wile E. Coyote here is attending and what he's engaged in as part of his recovery plan, and he's doing what he said he was going to do. In the next video, we're going to walk you through how to import these goal templates and how to modify the resources within them. See you in just a moment.